I'm Violette Delvoye. I directed the film The Mud Under My Window in the competition Generation 14+.
Allô?
Coucou ma puce, c'est maman.
Bah ouais, je sais. Comment ça va?
Ah bah plutôt bien. Et toi alors? Avec ta mère, comment ça se passe en ce moment?
Ça va. De toute façon, mamou, elle vit sa vie, tu sais. Mais tais-toi!
Hello and welcome to the 39th Teddy Award. My name is Jan-Felix Wuttig and today I'm here with director Violette Delvoye to talk about her film The Mud Under My Window. Violette, thank you so much for being here and taking the time, and thank you so much for the film. The Mud Under My Window tells the story of Emma, who lives with one of her mothers, the other one being in treatment for mental illness. And she sort of rages or rebels against one mother while sort of idolizing the other one who is not present. Could you maybe tell me how the idea for the film came to you?
I think it came from a similar but very different situation where my mom, I am from a heterosexual family, but my mom died when I was a teenager, and I think I had the same kind of feeling where I was idealizing the one parent who was not there, like because she was dead, and criticizing a lot the one who was here, my dad living with me and not doing what I was expecting from him. And I think I wanted to talk about that feeling and also the way you realize that your parents are disappointing sometimes when you are a teenager. But I didn't want to talk about grief and talk too much about my own story, so I postponed it in another story where this distance is not there because of death, but because of illness.
Yes. It's also dedicated to your parents and to your child. Yeah.
Yes, to my parents because of this reason, and to my child because this child happened while I was making this movie at the same time.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. One of the first things that amazed me about the film is the art, like the animation. It's great. It gives you so much of the feeling of the film. It sort of sets the mood, and it gives you that sort of the characters, how they move. You can immediately feel sort of what they're going through. How did you approach animating the film?
Well, for me, I do animated films because I come from there, more from the graphic part of cinema. But I think for me it's really important that the characters are real and the voices sound real, and this is closer to live action films. And for this film, it was really important for me to record the voice with this idea that it has to sound natural, and the animation comes from the voices. So we recorded all the voices before. Which is the case most of the time in animation, it's always better to do it like this, because then you have all the voices and you can animate on this, and you can create the body movements on the voice. And the recording was an important part of the making of this film. I wrote a lot, the dialogues.
Yeah.
And then when I recorded it, we spent a lot of time on it, and a lot of time on editing as well, because that's a good part in animation. You don't see the actors, so you can take also the parts when, when the actor, she hesitated a bit, and it's not part of the written part, but you can take the moment when she hesitated and edit it in what is going to happen in the film, and all of this creates a really natural speech, and the animators come on this, and they create the body movement that accords to those small hesitation, and this is when it really creates real characters.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I felt it at different points in the film. For example, when Emma's present mother kind of starts shouting at her for sort of doubting her relationships, and beforehand she had more sort of a quiet conversation, and sort of the volume goes up, and you have a different movement, and you have all this energy in the room all of a sudden. I felt also that concerning the sort of development of the story, there is a moment or a scene in the film about fire.
Yeah.
And I found that this scene was sort of symbolic for what goes on within Emma.
Mm-hmm.
Could you maybe explain what you meant to say with including fire sort of in that scene?
Yeah, I wanted to, because the film is quite realistic. In animation, sometimes we want to go to more magical or metaphorical things, and the whole context of this film is quite realistic, and could have been in live action film. But I wanted this moment of the fire to be a bit outside of reality, and to express direct feelings. And they talk a lot in this film, and they express what they think, or they try to express what they try to think. But what they think. This fire, I wanted to make it like a cut in the turning point in the film, and something which is more direct and more emotional and without words, and really something else. And even the animation technique is different, because it's not longer drawn on computer animation. It's directly with charcoal and chalk under the camera directly. So it was more, even in the process of making it, it was like the camera and the
broad strokes.
Direct and emotional thing. And that's the moment when they stop trying to talk, and just the emotion is more pure. That was the intention.
I felt that does a lot for the story itself, because you sort of have fire as a symbol of emotion that just, and I think at that point Emma kind of realizes, and her mother also realizes what emotions can do to people, because
it's going further than themselves.
Exactly, and that fire just hurts, and you cannot direct fire. It will always just burn and burn and burn. And that was a beautiful moment. Now, some of the moments within the film the film itself is very open and very in terms of gender politics and lifestyles. Was there a specific idea that you wanted to portray in the film about gender politics, or was it more sort of a...
Well, I wanted it to be part of the context, but not the topic, because yeah, for me it's important to, like, queer family have their own problems which are not related to the fact that they are queer families. Yes. And also when we talk about parent relationship and teenagehood, it's common topics, but it's common topics for heterosexual family as well as for queer families. And for me, who come from a heterosexual family but is building a queer family, it's important for me to talk about it in this way, that it's a background. It's important that it can be a background for any other story, without being the main topic.
Yeah, and I felt that it was a free space, sort of, you know, sort of that it remained in the film, and it could be felt that this kind of freedom was important to you, but it wasn't, you know, it didn't create any weight on the viewer. It didn't give you like, okay, look at this specifically, but it was just that there was this liberty, but all these different ways that it could go, basically.
It's to finance the film, sometimes it was a topic, because in the juries for to get funds, sometimes I felt that people that they were saying this, that it was confusing. We don't understand because there is a man, so we think that the first mom is heterosexual and that she's homosexual, and it was confusing for everyone. And I struggled a bit for this thing. Yeah, it's supposed to be okay. We could have it's a family that deserves to exist, because there's a lot of kind of family, and we can talk about common topic like as teenage and parents relationship. We don't have to put it in the so-called regular family. We can put it in a different in a queer family, and it's good. And even if the story is quite simple, I struggled a bit to keep this and to like even have this guy, the David guy, who is not important in the story, but even though he's not important in the story, he serves as sort of the, you know, when Emma is sort of drawing him up. Yeah, it's one of the funniest scenes in the film. It's a beautiful it's
scene.
Important for this too.
Yeah. But it's, I've over the last couple of days, I've talked to a couple of directors who had a sort of problem in securing funds simply because people felt that sort of their message wasn't sort of clear enough. And I saw the films, and I thought it was simply the message that it doesn't have to be clear in any sense, you know. You don't have to give people these kind of labels or whatever it is, and you should be able to keep it open. But well, I guess what these directors found out, and what you might have found out, is when money is involved, people people always want what they know. True. Dare to go. Yeah. Now, when you look at the whole of the film, could you sort of, in your own words, explain what the development is that Emma goes through?
Well, I think Emma realizes that that her own reality is not the only one reality that exists, and that she has to consider that her mother and both her mothers and other people around her have sense of reality that is different, but it's as true as her own. Yeah. I think that's what's happening in her.
Yeah. I felt so too. This kind of like parallel motion of realities that just happen alongside each other, and that still are able to, I'm sorry, still are able to kind of go together.
Yeah.
And kind of
find a
grow
way
that
to
way.
connect.
Yeah,
And,
very much so. And that made it a really beautiful film, I felt.
Thank you.
Thank you. Emma, I want to, sorry, I was in the movie. so much in the movie that I was calling you by your character's name. Sorry. Violette, I want to thank you again for taking the time and being here with us.
Thank you.
And thank you for the film, and I want to wish you all the best for the rest of the festival.
Thanks.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Violette.